Hello, good evening students. In today class we have discussed the performance analysis of long transition line by rigorous method. It is well known fact the lumped situation, whereas in case of short transmission lines, medium transmission lines, these parameters are to be lumped at one point in the circuit or more than one point in the circuit, because we are getting more accuracy of result, that is performance of machines and satisfied result. But in long transmission lines these parameters are distributed, because if we are considering lumped or concentrated, more serious errors will occur in performance analysis. Hence all parameters are to be distributed throughout the entire transmission line. So the figure shows three-phase long transmission line with reference of single phase representation, that is one phase with respect to neutral. The performance analysis is done with respect to single phase analysis. So it is already well known fact, Vs is the sending end voltage for phase, Vr is the receiving end voltage for phase, and we have to consider a small element of length dx at a distance x from the receiving end, and V be the voltage across section which is nearer to receiving end, and V plus dV, it is voltage across the section nearer to sending end, and I plus dI is the current flowing towards the section, and capital I is current leaving from the section as shown in figure. Small z is impedance per unit length, impedance, that is series impedance per unit length at that section. Small y is the shunt admittance at that section point. The above figure shows one phase and neutral connection of three-phase line. The parameters are uniformly distributed. Consider a small length in the transmission line of length dx situated at x distance from receiving end, and also consider the following things. Z be the series impedance of the line per unit length, Y shunt admittance of the line per unit length, V be the voltage at the end of element towards the receiving end, V plus dV voltage at the end of element towards the sending end, I plus dI is the current entering at the element dx, capital I current flowing, current leaving from the element of dx. Then for small element dx, which is having a small length of dx, lies at x distance from the receiving end. In this small element, x z into dx becomes series impedance, because z is the impedance in this small element, it is per unit length, dx is that length, therefore z dx becomes series impedance. In a similar fashion, y shunt admittance per unit length, dx is the length, therefore y into dx becomes shunt admittance in that element. Obviously we know that dV equal to, we shall write I into z dx, it is the starting point of the derivation. dv equal to iz into dx. Therefore, you develop the expression 1 dv by dx equal to iz. It is the basic point, equation number 1. Now, current entering at the element is I plus di, whereas the current leaving from the element is I. The difference between these currents will flow through the admittance of the element, either by applying the KCL. I plus di is incoming, I is outgoing current, hence current flowing through the admittance becomes di. So, di equal to v into y dx, v into y dx. So, you bring the dx this side, hence di by dx equal to v into y. Develop the equation 2. These two equations are very starting points. Remember very thoroughly. Hence, differentiating the equation 1 with respect to x. Hence, we are getting d square by v dx square equal to z into di by dx, that is z into vy. So, we shall write equation number 3 d square into v equal to dx square equal to v y z. Develop the equation number 3. For above equation, the differential equation may be given by v equal to k1 cos hyperbolic x under square root of yz plus k2 sin hyperbolic into x under square root of yz. Develop the equation 4. So, differentiating the equation 4 with respect to x, we have dv by dx equal to k1 under square root of yz sin hyperbolic x into yz plus k2 term. So, where k1, k2 are unknown constants, k1, k2 are unknown constants. Later on, we have to determine these value before finalizing the equation. But we know that dv by dx equal to iz. Hence, in the above expression, dv by dx is replaced by I into z. Therefore, I into z equal to equation becomes. So, z you transfer this side, only you write current expression. I equal to z you take this side, right side, hence it becomes under square root of y by z, you take the common factor, inside the bracket k1 sin hyperbolic, inside the bracket x under square root of yz plus k2 cos hyperbolic, inside the bracket x under square root of y times of z. Develop the equation 5. The equation 4 and 5 gives voltage and current from unknown constants, form unknown constants k1, k2. Hence, we have to determine these unknown constants. Then from equation 4 and 5, it is possible to determine k1 and k2. At x equal to 0, means we are getting the situation at receiving end point. So, at receiving end condition, voltage equal to VR and current equal to IR. That means V equal to VR and I equal to IR. Putting these values in equation 4, that is VR equal to K1 cos hyperbolic 0, K2 sin hyperbolic 0, this becomes only K1 term. Hence, VR equal to K1, one constant has been determined. Similarly, you go for current expression. Current I equal to IR. that is from equation number 5. I equal to IR from equation 5. IR equal to under square root of y by z k1 sin hyperbolic 0 k2 cos hyperbolic 0. So we are getting k2 term only. Hence IR equal to under square root of y by z into k2. Therefore it is possible to write k2 expression k2 equal to under square root of z by y into IR. Hence from equation 4 and u, from initial conditions, it is possible to determine unknown constants k1 and k2. Substituting these values of k1 and k2, equation 4 and 5. So in terms of k1 and k2 it is written, then you replace the k1 and k2 value. So finally you write the expression voltage and current. Just you replace k1 and k2. The sending end voltage Vs and sending end current Is are obtained by putting x equal to L. In above expression, x your variable data, x is variable, that is length is variable. X is variable means length is variable. Hence you put x equal to full length from receiving end. Hence it becomes the condition of sending end. If I put x equal to total length L value, then we are getting voltage of sending end, current of sending end. Finally expression becomes Vs equal to Vr cos hyperbolic under square root of L into square root of y by z plus under square root of z by y IR sin hyperbolic into bracket L under square root of y by z. Similarly, sending end current is also obtained. Here we have to concentrate small z and small y are series impedance and shunt admittance per unit length. Per unit length. Now you consider L into square root of y by z may be written as L into y, L into z. L into y is capital Y, L into z is capital Z. Capital Y is total shunt admittance of the line per phase. Capital Z total series impedance of the line per phase. Similarly, y by z, it may be written as under square root of y times of L divided by z times of L. So it may be replaced by capital Y by z. This is the final touch to our expression. Therefore, final voltage and current expressions becomes Vs equal to Vr cos hyperbolic under square root of y into z plus IR under square root of z by y sin hyperbolic under square root of yz. Similarly, Is equal to Vr under square root of z by y sin hyperbolic into square root of y by z plus IR cos hyperbolic y by z. These two expressions are final values of sending end voltage and sending end current. So before going to next class, you have to prepare, work out. It is very important derivation. All of you practice, derive the performance analysis equations for long transmission line, or by using rigorous method, means you have to go for this complete derivation for 10 marks. You remember these two expressions for further problems. Thank you to one and all.